Here we are live, FUTV, welcome along everybody. It is the morning after the night before Manchester United finally getting a victory in the Premier League. It seems like ages ago. We're going to dissect that performance, we're going to get into it. We've watched back some of the highlights, we're going to talk about what Ten Hag got right, what is still wrong at the football club, go into detail on that. Sorry I'm a little bit late, I was just listening to Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Manchester, talking about the development possibly of Manchester United and the conversations that they've had with Ineos, Sir Jim Radcliffe and Sir David Brailsford as well. I'll talk a little bit about that because it was really interesting listening to what Andy Burnham was just saying there then on BBC Radio Manchester. So I'll talk about that as well. And yeah, we'll get all of your comments and all your thoughts on last night. If you didn't get a chance to get in the chat last night, now is your chance. And obviously drop your comments in below on the chat once the video was finished on the live stream. Make sure you hit that like button as well when you're coming in. And if you are coming in for the first time, obviously hit that subscribe button if you're loving the content. Let's get into this. A quick shout out to the sponsors of the video, Fantasy 5. I'm going to tell you guys how you can win $5,000 this weekend. Stay tuned. Our fantasy league is up. It's a great fantasy football league with a difference. And that's what Fantasy 5 are like, but an instant win that you can get your hands on. Stay tuned. Later in the video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get that and how you can make your weekend a bit of a bonanza one. You feel confident that you know your Premier League players and your Premier League football? Get involved. I'll tell you more in a little bit. Well, let's get into what is going on at Manchester United. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing fantastic. After a win the night before, I suppose everyone is feeling a little bit more upbeat. I am. I have to obviously start the conversation by saying, Eric, happy birthday. Baldy's best today. I hope you have a great birthday. I don't know how old Eric Ten Hag is. I just know it's his birthday. I've seen it on social media. And obviously, we just want to wish him many happy returns. And hopefully, he has a fantastic day. Thank God he got the win last night. That's all I'm saying. What a way that would have been to start your birthday. Oh, God, we couldn't have done that. It looked at one point like we were down and out. And that goal in injury time, 5th minute of injury time for Neto. Oh my God, please. I was like, just don't. Please don't. I was in the depths of despair. And then came along the little maestro, the man of the moment, Kobbie Mainoo. Oh, we are loving what that guy is bringing to Manchester United right now. Absolutely fantastic. But what I wanted to get into, I've got the wrongs, I've got the rights, I've got the issues with Ten Hag. This isn't a false dawn. I don't think. I think we are seeing positives in this. I know I'm not flip-flopping. I'm going to balance this argument because there are still issues that I don't like at the football club. People are still coming to me saying, oh, how can you be so negative after a win? Well, we nearly blew it again. And this is what United's issue is. And I think it's down to a few little things. So we're going to get into that as well. But I want to start with the positives. And Eric Ten Hag and what is actually going right for him at the moment. The main thing I feel, and what looked like a United last night. Every single player absolutely behind everyone else in this team. And you know what? Looking back on the highlights, looking back on everything that happened last night, Rasmus Højlund being flattened by Gardner and celebrating his goal while he's being crushed on the floor. That picture that someone took, it was like a screenshot of the replay of Rasmus's goal. But if you look at it on social media, he's there just celebrating and cheering, watching the ball roll over the line while being crushed by a centre-back at the same time. That man is running through brick walls for Ten Hag right now, and I'm absolutely loving him, honestly. He is a breath of fresh air. The emotion in that guy, and you could see it. If you've not seen the scenes on the sidelines or anything, obviously, it's the biggest emotion I've seen yet from Eric Ten Hag while Manchester United being Manchester United manager. It was pure emotion that last night, and I feel like he has got the players. Looking at pictures like that, you can't ignore what you see. And there are leaks at Manchester United. We clearly know that because people get the news and tell us before the club actually announce anything. So yeah, there are issues there. I don't know who it would be or why it's coming out, but one thing you can't ignore is what you see. The eye test is the ultimate. And what we watched on TV last night and the scenes when Scott McTominay scored that goal where Casemiro hugging the manager, our jubilation, the embrace that was between them two and everyone else on that bench last night. They are as one and they are together. You can see it. You could see the jubilation on the sidelines. It was like they were all fans last night. And that, I feel, is the biggest thing that Ten Hag has got right. You can clearly see You can clearly see the players. You just watch a bit of one bit of the game I will recommend to watch back is Rasmus's goal when it goes in. Obviously, the celebration of Rasmus when he's on the deck being crushed, like I just said. But look at Dalot, look at Garnacho, look at Kobe Mainu in that area and around the goal there. Look at the reaction of them players as it goes in. Like the pure emotion, like Garnacho dropped to his knees and just had his hands in the air. Like just turned down and looked to the heavens and just celebrated. Dalot turned away and just had his own little moment on his own. You can feel the passion inside the players. You know they're trying. Yes, the quality is not there. Is it good enough? That's a different debate. But all we're looking at right now is getting this team back into the top 4 and then we'll deal with that. So let's look at what is right in front of us now and how we can actually get back into this Champions League fight, because that's what's important. Being back in the Champions League, Manchester United competing again in that competition next year under the new regime, which is Ineos. I think that's important for everyone. So, yeah, let's look at that. And I tell you to just go and look at what happened last night when that goal went in. Just watching it back and you can see it in them. And they're players that are 100% wanting to win at Manchester United. Them ones in particular, you know who they are. There are issues with other players and I'm going to go into them, but them players there are what you want in your football team. Yes, the quality, not quite where we need it to be, but you know what? They have got something, and that is a will to win, and they are behind the manager. That is clear to see. So that's something that we have to praise, and Ten Hag has definitely got a hold of that for me. I think he's working his... I don't know what the word is to describe it, but he's working on something that is there. There is a unity there, but it's missing that little finishing touch. I don't know if it's in quality, consistency. I mean, Manchester United just throw away goals for fun. Our defence at times and what we're doing. And it's not so much the defenders individually, because last night it was a breath of fresh air watching Casemiro sat in front of Martinez and Rafael Varane again. You had that solid feeling that you weren't as worried as you would be in previous weeks. You knew that you had the experience and that know-how at the back. And I think that gave me confidence in the game. I mean, how it started off, I do not know. But in terms of the game itself, and another thing that Ten Hag got right last night, obviously he was proved right with the starting lineup. I have my issues with Marcus Rashford, everyone knows. No need for me to even go into that now. But he got his goal, and in a way, you've got to say vindication for Eric Ten Hag dropping Antony and bringing Rashford into the sides. You can't say otherwise. He scored the opening goal, and he was involved in the second goal as well. So Rashford being in the side for Ten Hag, you've got to say he got that right, even though I still don't agree with it. And I think the bigger picture is more important. But basing it off the game itself, he got that one right for me. And yeah, proved that it was the right decision. Please give the video a like, guys, by the way. Over 50 already, so we're on our way to our first 100. Everyone in the chat, please give the video a like, and let's share the video as well, guys. Let's get this positive vibe going, because there's a lot of people say I'm not very positive at the moment, and there's a lot of problems at the football club, and I'm sort of talking about them. That is the forefront right now. And like I said, just go back to all of them videos, and I've always said, if United start winning on the pitch, everything off it doesn't look as bad. So that's where I'm looking at this. Luke Shaw and Rashford linking up. It was like the old school days again. That link up that we used to have between them two, that was fantastic. So Ten Hag's starting lineup, I thought was right apart from one man. I'm going to save that actually for later, because that's in the out side of things. I'm starting this video off with the positive. That's where I'm going with it. But yeah, so that was good from Ten Hag. Other plus points in the game. I mean, going into his substitutions, we bemoan his in-game management all of the time, but I called it out at the time, and then I've watched it back, and I was proved wrong, and I load my hands up to that. But the substitution of Scott McTominay coming on for Casemiro, a player that afterwards was talked about as just flagging a little bit. McTominay came in, like I've said he should do. His place in this team is on the bench, doing what he did last night. That's it. You will become a legend of the football. You don't have to start games. He's not good enough to start games for Manchester United. But if he's happy to sit on the bench, an hour into the game, 70 minutes, and we need something different, a bit of height, a bit of strength in the box, like a corner, Believe it or not, United scored from a bleeding corner last night. Scott McTominay's there, and wow, Ten Hag times it just right. You're thinking 2-1. Oh no, Eric, no. It's not the right time. We need to get control of this midfield. We've got the experience of Casemiro. No. He sort of jumped onto that moment when every team is at its weakest, when you've just scored. And Wolves switched off. They switched off from the corner. They were back in the game. A lucky penalty, yes. But Ten Hag brought McTominay on, and it proved right again. Scott probably should have had 2. He had another point-blank save that the keeper made. Scott McTominay should have double figures this season, goals. But yeah, that for me is another positive for Ten Hag on the game last night alone. The substitution, obviously, I didn't agree with Evans coming on. That bit was not ideal. Maguire had to come on because Martinez was injured. Obviously, that's fine. Can't deal with that. But Evans coming on, we didn't need Evans. It was like inviting Wolves on for them last few minutes when we could have just held on. So, no, I didn't agree with that one. I thought that's what we have been doing, which is in the wrong column for Ten Hag. We do invite pressure on when we go in front, and it's not ideal. But, not ideal. Jesus, no, it's not right. Never mind ideal. It's definitely not right. But, yeah, everything else there, you look at it, you go, right, why are we having these switch-off moments? What is going on in these games? Luckily, again, though, we had the presence and we had the personality on the pitch just to get over that moment of going 3-3. Like we did against Newport, we just had enough on the pitch, and we've not had that recently. So Ten Hag, again, in what he said, his team will be balanced, his team will be stronger when everyone comes back in January. He sort of proved right again there, in a way, because last night, if you didn't have the Casemiros, Martinez, Varane, Shaw in these last couple of games, then you could have had that weak-centred Manchester United, which collapsed when we gave up a 2-goal lead. 3 times in the last 2 games we've given up 2-goal leads. At Newport and then twice against Wolves last night. And we've got over it. We can't keep doing that, no, but you've got that little bit of mental strength back in the team with the likes of the experienced Varane, Casemiro, Martinez, Luke Shaw, players like that. They're the ones that you'd expect to get you through that game. They're your so-called leaders, and we have got a little bit of a core back of that type of player now. So yes, that for me, I think, is definitely a positive on Ten Hag's part as well. So yeah, looking at it, I think Manchester United in a decent place right now. It only counts, like I've said many times before, if we back it up with another performance, and I feel like the game against West Ham is the perfect opportunity now. A game at home, you're expecting to win, and I look at it and I go, well, if we don't, then it's just a complete false dawn, and we're just talking absolute nonsense right now. But I'm just seeing certain little things that are different, and a little bit of a turning of the page, I feel, within the squad. There are obvious issues as well. We're going to get into them in a minute, but I just feel like Ten Hag has got it working. Not another big thing, and I'll come to your comments in a minute because I think this is where it's going to come in for you guys, is his handling of Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. Without them 2 players this season, I feel like we would be in the depths of despair as a fan base. I do. We've had something to cling on to. A bright light, Kobbie Mainoo coming through. Obviously, Garnacho from last season now into this season, improving all the time. His decision-making needs to sharpen up a little bit. I gave him a 6 last night because I didn't think he was fantastic. He had some moments there where he could have played a better ball. He could have played an easier ball, but he didn't do it. But still, his work rate and what he brings to the team and his constant attacking and never giving up is what we need in this team right now. Don't be put off when you lose the ball. That's what he's got. And I think the nursing through of these 2 players from Ten Hag, and yes, I've said before, he's lucky that he's got these 2 players in his team. He's lucky that the youth system right now are helping Manchester United, because Ten Hag, obviously we know what his problem is in terms of what he's wasted and the players that he's brought in are just not cutting the mustard at Manchester United. So the fact that he has got this pool of youth talent to call upon, I feel like he has got them through at the right time and played them at the right time. It's an interesting one that Samuel Luckhurst brought up last night, actually, and it's very true, which was, since substituting Mainoo off and what everyone put down to losing control of the game against Nottingham Forest, he started every single game and not been subbed off in one and played 90 minutes plus in every game since then. And Manchester United haven't been beaten. And Ten Hag has learned. And we have to bring up them little things that he's got right, because it's only fair. We're balancing the argument here. I'm not always all against, but off the back of a victory, it's easy to talk about these things. But I feel like that was one that needed bringing up, because he has learnt from a mistake, in my opinion, there. It's like McTominay for Mainu in that Forest game was a complete and utter sham. It was. That was a massive mistake from Ten Hag. And I think he's learned and he's realised now that Mainu is mature enough to see out these games. He has taken to playing alongside Casemiro like we all prayed he would do. And it's so good to see. It is real encouragement for the fan base, I feel, that we have got them two now. The experience of Casemiro and Kobbie Mainu to learn off him. All we need now is Bruno Fernandes to come into form. And that is like the final piece, I feel. When Bruno starts hitting form, hopefully if he does, it's still a big if, because he isn't right at the moment, then I feel like you've got Casemiro playing the way he did last night. I thought he was excellent, outstanding. Kobbie Mainu, if Bruno was playing well as well, and he was a bit more decisive. Yes, Bruno's work rate is always there, but his decision making at the moment for me is not, and he is off it. He is. You cannot deny that he's not the same player. So I look at that and I go, right, okay, if Bruno comes back, then we have got a serious midfield playing there. That's a good three to have. But I just love in the fact that Kobbie is dealing with the negatives, which is all around him, still playing his game, and then he has that moment last night. There's not one player deserved that more than Kobbie Mainu last night. Absolutely buzzing. And you know what else was good about it? The fact that it was Amari Forson who set it up as well, another academy player. And an interesting stat came in. The last time two teenagers scored and assisted a winner in the Premier League was Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney against Liverpool. 19 and 18 again. And that's the same age as Mainu and Forson was last night. Both academy graduates. And them two got us the victory last night. That was just the perfect ending to that game, which was a complete roller coaster. I'm going to get into your chats on the positive side of things. We are going to move across to issues that we've got in a minute as well. But I want to get your thoughts on all of this. Graham has just confirmed that Erik Ten Hag is 54, guys. So many happy returns, Eric. I hope you enjoy your day, and I enjoy a nice bottle of wine as well, ready for the weekend. Knowing Ten Hag, he'll be at the training ground, forgetting like he's even got a birthday today. It's just the type of guy he is. Give the video a like, guys, as well. We're just creeping up to the 100 mark. It's like Erik Ten Hag doesn't see how bad he is. Are we talking? Oh, yeah. I'm going to leave that one out of it because it is coming, guys. I know what you're talking about in the chat. I am going to leave that to the problem section, because everyone came to me last night with this issue. Like, all the private messages, everyone in comment sections, listening to analysis and everything else, all earmark this as a major issue for Ten Hag going forward. I'm going to talk about it next after we get through the positive side. We're starting on that note today, guys, so just stick with it. Will says, 10 handbags also has to know that he can't play Kobbie 90 minutes every match. He has to rest. Well, he can if it's one game a week. Will, that's the difference right now, United. We haven't got European football. So he's taking this opportunity to play him every single game and every important game. Yeah, maybe you could think about resting him if Bristol beat Forest, but still, I'm playing Kobbie Mainu now. I think he's actually one of the first names on the team sheet right now, the way he's performing. It's the old saying, isn't it? If you're old enough, you're good enough. And so if you're good enough, you're old enough. Sorry. And Kobbie Mainu is definitely good enough. The maturity of the guy, 2 goals in 2 now. Fantastic. We've had a few good moments here and there before. If we keep it up for a few games, sure, but at the moment I see it as just a happy accident. I want to believe, but I know what you mean, Guess. I do know what you mean. To be fair, Erik Ten Hag could never see Mourinho or Ollie starting and trusting these young players. Yep, again, that's one thing, like I said, he has got right and he needs praising for. He has brought a lot of young players through, Ten Hag. I do believe he's been forced to bring them through because some of his signings have been dross and just not worked. And he's kind of stumbled on it a little bit. So it isn't all positive, but he is the man that has nurtured Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho, so he needs credit for that. This is the quality of the manager, 100%, bringing in the youth and building a team. 2 more years with Ten Hag, we will have a great team. Full backing from Joe Blackman there on Ten Hag. Steve S. Sorry, I've just lost that comment there. Sorry, Steve S. Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. Oh God, everyone's going in on it already in the chat. Bruno not physically strong enough when we play against the top 4 side. Super chat in from Akash Paul. Thanks for that, mate. I drop Onana for 5 games, but squad management at the moment is a joke. When left midfield / case of Iran. Lissandro Martinez / Casemiro of Iran are out. The playing style is affected in a bad way. Martinez's stats last night, by the way, guys, off the scale, literally perfection. And you know what? I just wanted to talk quickly about Rasmus Højlund. 4 in 4 now for him. 2 assists as well. Absolutely taking it to that level that we needed him to. 9 goals this season now. By the way, that's still more than Jesus at Arsenal. I'll keep saying it. But 9 goals this season now. He's finally scoring in the Premier League. He scored in every competition this season, barring the League Cup. But, wow, he is coming of age. 20-year-old. You got Kobe, who's 20. You got Garnacho. You got Kobe, who's 18. You got Garnacho, 19. You've got Højlund, 20. You've got a young team there. It's brilliant to see. But he is mature beyond his year. The way he's playing and the amount of batterings he gets in games, Højlund, is, you know what? For him to play through it and still have that encouragement is absolute credit to him. And we are now looking like we are seeing the best of Rasmus Højlund. Hopefully, he has saved his best for the back end of the season when we really need it. But I just love him to get up to like maybe between 15 and 18 goals this season. And that's not a bad start for a young 20-year-old coming into Manchester United with all the pressure of everything that's going on. That is not bad. Hopefully he can get there. But my God, that guy plays on raw emotion. He's right behind every player. Great comment from him afterwards when he was saying, look, if a player plays the ball into an area where I've told them I'm going to be and I'm not there, then they can rollick me, they can bollock me, they can give me pure abuse. But on the other hand, if I've made that run and they don't play that ball to me, then they're going to get it back. I love that voice. I love that enthusiasm in the player. That is immense. That is everything that Manchester United need. That enthusiasm up front. And you know what? I'm loving the guy's energy at the moment. Everything about him, he does not stop. And that's what we need in that front line. That is definitely what we need in that front line. 100 likes in the bag, guys. Thank you so much. As always, keep liking the video. Keep sharing the video as well. Over 300 in the room with us right now. It is the eve before another match weekend, guys. We're talking West Ham tomorrow. Probably a little bit tonight as well in the interactive show. But yeah, it is the build-up to another Premier League football weekend, which is really good. Right, into the negative side of things and what the issue is ahead of Ten Hag. Now, not a complete negative now, obviously, but it is a problem. It is a big problem. And the obvious one is Andre Onana. I mean, we've dealt with Rashford is an issue that needs to be dealt with in the summer, and I still want him gone out of the team. I would sell him. Hopefully he gets a little bit of form and we can get some money for him. I'm not talking about him anymore. Onana, everyone came to me last night on Onana. He is a major, major concern. He really is. And I don't know where we go. Honestly, I said it last night. I was actually on TalkSport this morning. There's so much to talk about. I was on TalkSport this morning talking with Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour. Do check it out on the TalkSport YouTube page as well. My video is there from this morning, guys. So go and have a look at that. And I was talking to Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour this morning about United and what my big go-to was. It's like Ten Hag is not there for me yet. He's still not convincing me. enough. We need to run a games with stability. We need to organise and have a plan so we don't give away stupid goals. One way of stopping this right now for me with Ten Hag is, look, drop an Arna. Someone's trying to call me there, sorry. With him out with that goal, I feel like we can move forward. Right now, I'm just looking at anyone who has a shot, I fear it's just going to go in. It's just going to go in. It is a case of he don't give the defence any encouragement at all. He doesn't fill them with any confidence. He's just an accident waiting to happen constantly. You've seen that moment that Martinez had to bail him out for last night. Again, what is it with Wolves? He got away with one big time in the game, first game of the season at Old Trafford, where he flattened the defender coming for the ball. He did it again last night, but it nearly cost us the goal as well. Well, Martinez on the line, clearing it. And like I said, Martinez was outstanding last night. Brilliant to have him back. But if Ten Hag keeps on playing Onana, then Manchester United are going to be unstable at the back. It doesn't look like he talks enough for me. It doesn't look like he communicates well with his defence. There are moments there where Martinez, and he did it. He's done it a few times, but Martinez has just not got the shout, and he's just taken the ball by the arms like a proper defender should and just cleared the ball. He used to be all right. At the start of the season, I thought he was decent at coming and claiming crosses, but he just looks shaky in every single department. His distribution isn't great, when I thought that's why we were bringing him in. I thought he was decent on the ball. That's gone off completely. And he is a massive worry. And Ten Hag and his stubbornness will keep on playing him. I honestly think the players that Ten Hag is backing and the players that he has publicly backed are the ones that will ultimately, in the end, be his undoing. Rashford, Onana, Antony, players like this. This is the only issue that Ten Hag's got in front of him for me. And there's a way around it. Yes, we are a little bit gun-shy up top. Rashford has always got goals and moments like last night, whereas I don't think Antony has. And with Ahmad, I don't feel like he has got enough experience yet. But what he can do is, if Rashford is playing, I still wouldn't play him, but if he is playing and he brings him off like he did last night, which I thought was at the right time because he disappeared off the face of the planet after his 20-minute cameo at the start of the game. He was completely just drifting out of the game, Rashford. He brought Antony on. Now, what he can do is bring Ahmad on instead as a substitute. If Ahmad doesn't start, fair enough. You've got the argument. He isn't experienced enough and you just don't know what you're going to get. But he needs his chance. And if Antony is coming off the pitch, if Antony is on the bench next to Ahmad, I'm picking Ahmad over Antony. I'm just not seeing enough. Antony lost the ball last night on the edge of the box needlessly, and they countered and scored, and it was 3-3. He was a big part of what was wrong with United giving that ball away. Let's not forget Maguire and Johnny Evans stuck on Wolves' 18-yard box for some crazy reason when we're in injury time 3-2 up. I do not know why they've not got back sooner or why they were still hanging around there. But dilly-dallying on the ball, Antony gives it away, Wolves break, we're chasing our tails, and it's 3-3, and we're all thinking the same doom and gloom United yet again. But there are two players I think he can bring into this team. Ahmad as a sub, see how he does. Let's see him play his way into the team. Takes his opportunity, then he may be able to get a start out of him. Bayindir in goal. Honestly, I've seen enough at Newport, and yes, Newport is Newport. Confident on the ball, but I was close down to the pitch at Newport, and you can hear him. The communication side of things, we looked organised. Yeah, we switched off for their second goal, and one was a lucky deflection. Someone shooting from 30 yards, you're saying go for it all day long. That's good defending. But unfortunately, there's nothing at all he could do for that goal. And I don't think his defence helped him out on the right-hand side for the first goal for Newport either. And from close proximity, I don't think we're expecting him to save that either, Bayindir. So I really do think that Ten Hag turns the fan base around, and straight away you're thinking, all right. And you know what? Again, it sends that message out to the rest of the squad, like I thought he should have done with Rashford last night. Whether Antony scores that goal, I don't think he does because it's on the wrong foot, and he's vindicated in starting Rashford. But I don't think anyone would have had a problem with Rashford starting on the bench last night. No one would. Day and day, if he comes in, that for me is the big one. right there. Onana out, Baynder in. That's a manager taking the bull by the horns and sending a message to the rest of the squad. That is important. Super chat in from DJ John T. If Erik ten Hag keeps playing Onana, he'll die on that hill. That's what everyone was saying last night. Ahmad will come on at Old Trafford if we are winning comfortably. Do you know what? He's done this before. He's put Palestri on when we've needed a goal or a moment, and he's done well. Ahmad had that moment against Nottingham Forest. We need a few more of them. He needs a few more substitute appearances, I feel. Rashford, if he's going to blow out, because he always seems to tire, forget about this. Rashford can get you a goal at any moment. You need to make that call. If you're going to start him, then just make that call like you did last night. It's the right substitution last night, except Anthony came on instead of Ahmad. McTominay for Casemiro. Like I said, the in-game management of Ten Hag last night, I didn't think was horrendous. The only one I didn't agree with was Evans coming on. I didn't think we needed another defender. I thought we were dealing with it. And for some reason, we encourage teams on when we're leading, and it just gets nervous. It does. We're the makers of our own downfall. We really are. But, yeah, it's, for me, the biggest problem he's got. Anthony, Rashford, and Onana. Where's he going to fit Mason Mount into this team as well? And you know what the other one was? Bruno Fernandes, our worst midfielder at the moment. I know what he's going to say. I know the encouragement he brings captain material to the team in the way he is and the way he encourages people. The petulant side of it gets on a lot of people's nerves. His energy, he runs more than anyone. He does his defensive work, sometimes not too well. It's just not working for Bruno at the moment, but he won't drop a captain. He did it with Maguire a lot as well. He won't drop Bruno Fernandes. Now, this is another thing that he can sort of rectify. I think Bruno Fernandes benefits from sitting a game out knowing that he's underperformed. At the moment, he's playing and playing and playing, and he thinks... Bruno will say, look, I'm not happy with my own performance, but in his head, he knows he's going to start the next game. If Ten Hag does this one little thing and just takes Bruno out because he's not quite there, you just need to sit it out and just have a think... Like, sat on the bench, players sat on the bench watching in is the biggest learning curve that they could ever have in football. Watching someone else do your role better than you gives you that added incentive to get back out there and make something happen. Ten Hag doesn't have to completely throw Bruno out of this side. I just think Bruno, a spell on the sideline, maybe one game, doesn't have to be a big one. Although everyone says Bruno never appears in big games, but hey, we don't know. We'll see. I feel like if he just takes him out of the game and puts Mount in that position, puts Bruno on the bench, I think that's sending a positive message, me. I really do. It's like, he's the captain, he's not quite at it. Everyone has to abide by the same rules, even the captain of the football club. And the player who does also put up numbers and why he's probably there still, because he has got a few goals this season, Bruno, but I feel like there's certain moments where you can bring Bruno off. Even if you sub Bruno off and bring Mason Mount on, this is another way that Ten Hag can convince the fan base and the rest of the team that this is a squad. I haven't got my favourites. That's what Ten Hag, I feel, needs to hit next. And he's got the opportunity now, because you can see last night, like I said, watching that game, you could see everyone emotionally involved and behind the manager. The Casemiro embrace, the Rasmus Højlund running on the pitch, the embrace with Kobe Mainoo, with all of the squad, even including Marcus Rashford at the end there. It looked like he actually smiled for a moment. I'm not ignoring anything because I've got any certain agenda against certain people, but I say it as I see it, and they're the things that I cling on to and go, right, okay, so they are right behind him. Why is it not quite clicking in the way it should do then? I just feel like freshening things up every now and then won't harm anyone, and I feel like that's what Ten Hag needs to do. I'm going to come to the chat next, guys, but I just wanted to talk again about our sponsor for today. Fantasy 5. It is a fantasy football game where you pick 5 players from the game week coming up in the Premier League from each game. So you pick a player. I'll show you my team right now, actually. I'm just going to fast forward to my team and what I have actually picked. So my team this week for the weekend ahead in the Premier League is... let's just see what I've got in my team here. Sorry, I'm just going through it right now. Bear with me a second. So there's my team, as you can see. I've gone with full on basically just players that I feel like are going to hit their mark. So next to each player, there's a score that they have to get to. They get them points by assisting, by scoring. That's my team for this weekend, as you can see on the screen there. No massive names. I just feel like looking at the games, these guys are the ones that are going to get me my points, and you can win £5,000 if you get if all 5 of my players there hit their points target. They get £5,000. And as they always say, proof is in the pudding. In this game, there's been plenty of winners. Look at the team here for Woodsy, for instance. Jackpot winner, £5,000. Look at the players. Mbumo, Gordon, Rice, Watkins, McTominay. He won £5,000 with that team. All them players have to do is just perform. Scott McTominay would have got them points last night easy with his cameo. All of the rules are on the app, are on the website. The link is in the description below, guys. If you drop down into the description, there is the code there as well. There's another winner. Bumsy won it with Ferguson, Haaland, Son, Rice and Nunez. Obviously quality players. But look at the games that are on there. Pick the team that you think are going to perform in that game. It's one player from each match from either side. So it can be a player from the home seed side or a player from the away side. Pick that player who you think is going to have a good game. If they all hit their target, then you win £5,000. It is that simple. And like I said, them winners there, I've picked players that you wouldn't have thought would have been the players to have a great game. But just look at the form going into it. And if you feel like you are quite knowledgeable in the Premier League, get into the description below. The link is there for Fantasy 5, guys. It is a great game. It's free as well. What have you got to lose? £5,000 there to be won this weekend. The mini league is also there in the description, guys, and the code to enter it. So even if you don't win this weekend, there are monthly and seasonal prizes as well. Whoever comes top of a certain for a certain month in terms of points all gathered together, then you win prizes as well. Not just the one-offs, but them prizes are every single game week. Win £5,000 every single week. I was almost there in my first week. Almost there. I couldn't believe it. I was like one player out and Nunez missed a penalty. So that's where I fell down. Nunez missed a penalty and Isaac got injured in the first half against Aston Villa for Newcastle. So that's how I lost out. But guys, get in the description below. Click on the link. It is dead easy to play. All free. Join our league and give yourself a chance of winning £5,000. Thank you to Fantasy 5 for sponsoring the video today. And yeah, just go and enjoy yourselves. It's free, and let's see if you can beat me in the mini league as well. I doubt it. Right, into the comments section. Where are we at? Let's talk about the issues that we have got at this football club for Ten Hag right now in terms of moving forward. Plenty of positives, but you guys came to me last night in your drones for the issue, which is Andre Onana and other problems. Scalino says, Ericsson used to be number 10. I play him over Bruno right now. Much higher footballing IQ and doesn't waste possession as often as Bruno. Remember, Adam, you might owe Zane 50. No, I didn't take that bet on Leo. I didn't. He wanted the actual result rather than the score. I'm not going to take that. I'm not stupid. Johnstar187 says, Onana, Anthony and Mount are perfect examples of buying players without structure at the football club. He has to play them as he bought them. That's a worry. Jesse Lingard going to be the best player in South Korea. That is a crazy story again on its own, isn't it? Like, where did that come from? That was just like out of the blue. Completely out of the blue. And what else have we got down here? Old Trafford in my heart, says Damon. Guys, let's get up to the 150 mark on the likes as well, please. And yes, please, let's everyone like the video right now. Let's move on. I'm actually buzzing this weekend that we've actually got another game to get to. And again, guys, if you are going to Old Trafford, then please let me know. I'll be out and about. We'll get you on. We'll get you on the channel as well. Get your thoughts after the game. So plenty of vlog opportunities coming up this weekend. It's an early kickoff against West Ham as well on Sunday, so plenty of time for everyone to travel around. So make sure you do come over and say hello. Let me know. Just direct message me on the socials, which are in the description below as well if you are at the game. and we'll get you on. It'll be, hopefully, backing up the game from last night with a win. But yeah, just wanted to touch on what Andy Burnham was saying in terms of Manchester United and the development of Old Trafford. So Old Trafford and the surrounding areas, Andy Burnham, the mayor of Manchester, has been in communication with Sir Jim Radcliffe already. He says his enthusiasm for the project going ahead is clear to see. It's good noises again coming out of the Ineos side of things, and the development of Old Trafford is a big thing for all Manchester United fans, I feel, and I feel like this is like another step in the right direction for the club. It really is. I think the match day experience needs to be better, and the council basically said, look, we are going to back any project that Manchester United want to put forward. We're going to be right behind it. We're not going to tell them what they can and can't do, but any plan that they want to do, which is going to enhance the area, Manchester is going to be fully behind it, and Andy Burnham and Manchester Council are going to be all over it, pushing it wherever they can and helping out, which is a massive positive for the football club. So let's hopefully see some more from that. That is a big positive, and I feel like if we can get things right on the pitch going into the summer with all of these new projects going on, the new restructure of the hierarchy at Manchester United, everything looks a bit more rosy, doesn't it? There is a tiny little light at the end of the tunnel, and I said, when results come, Manchester United, everything seems to be better, doesn't it? Everything off the pitch looks better as well. But yes, it only happens if we continue winning games. Like we said yesterday, these 5 league games in February, crucial. I didn't have us down as beating Wolves. There's the first bonus. In the bag, job done. Second one, West Ham, that's a game that I said we could win. 6 out of 6, that's massive. We need to beat West Ham because Aston Villa play Sheffield United this weekend, and we're expecting them to win that game. When we play Aston Villa, that for me is going to be the decider for us whether we are going to challenge for top 4 or not. If we beat Villa at Villa Park, minimum is going to be 5 points away from them, and that is Champions League places. So massive month this for Manchester United. Hopefully everyone stays fit. I'll come back to you with any news. I think the press conference is today. I'm not 100% certain if the press conference is today or when it's being released, all of the quotes from it. I'm just going to double check. I think what would have happened was Ten Hag would have done his press conference last night at Wolves, and then all of the quotes would have been embargoed till later on today. So I'll keep an eye on that and bring you all the information from that. Nothing that I can see online right now anyway. I should have checked on that beforehand, but no, I do apologise for that. But yeah, we'll get an update hopefully on Lisandro Martinez's ankle, because that was strapped up. And yeah, everything going into the weekend we'll cover tonight at 6:30. Do join us. Keep an eye out for anything extra coming through the day. I'll bring it to you guys live if I can, straight away. All interaction shows with you guys, getting your input into it as well and getting your comments on board. But guys, that is it for this morning. Here we go. Moving on to another game. That week is done and dusted. We got away with one a little bit in the end last night, but there are more positives than negatives, I think. And that's how we're moving forward into the weekend. Guys, please do give the video on the way out. Let's hit that 150 at least. And then share the video. Subscribe if you're watching for the first time. I'll see you all later this afternoon. Thanks, everybody.